Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Shelly's Millions. Like usual, we're going live tonight, Monday, 6 p.m. to talk about all the shenanigans and issues with pending payments and benefit years ending at the California EDD. We're up to 19 states now that are ending unemployment benefits early. The latest state that is added is Indiana. California is still not one of the states ending early, which is great. Scotty, my day went well. I took my mom to the doctor. She had to get a biopsy on her arm, which meant I worked from home today for the movie theater, and I'm running a little bit behind on the stuff that I need to do for them, but I'm still trying to prioritize YouTube. So here I am. And hey, everybody. Hi. Oh, hey, Gabriel. For a minute, I thought you were one of my employees because I saw Gabriel and then the last initial. I'm drinking coffee at like 6. Oh, nope. My coffee's empty. I don't have coffee or water next to me right now. Hello, Kay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Cynthia. My year just ended last week. I applied for a new claim. I certified yesterday, but my payment is still pending. Do I need to call or what can I do? So you can call, but I think it's too early. So normally when you file a new claim, it takes about 3 weeks for them to review it to determine if you're eligible for a new claim or not. It also goes to a third party for review. So if you just filed a new claim last week, it's probably going to be pending for this payment cycle and probably the next payment cycle. I would say that, normally after about the 2-week mark, when you have 2 weeks pending after filing a new claim, that's generally when you could call and see if the EDD reps can push your payment through. But if you just filed last week, it's probably a little bit too soon. You're welcome to call them and see what they say, but I have a feeling in your case, they're going to say to just wait, that it's waiting for review. I'm sorry, because I know that calling isn't what you guys want to hear. I know that, when you're pending and you have to call, it's not what you want to hear, but so often, unfortunately, that's the answer. Mike D says, what documents do they need for the ID verification? Usually it is just your driver's license, front and back, and then a scan of your face, like a selfie. And I hear it's like a heat lamp kind of thing. Where it looks almost like your face is glitching when you take the selfie. Some people do need a second form of documentation, like a bill with your name on it, preferably like a utility bill, but not everyone needs that. Most people just need the front and back of an unexpired driver's license or California ID card and the selfie. Lucia says, oh, you missed my other live, but here you are. You're a new name to me. I'm sorry if I haven't seen you here before, but welcome. Lewis says, how do I qualify for the $10,200 tax break? How much will I be getting back? Thank you. That is such a specific question to each individual. For me, we're all in different tax brackets. It depends on how many dependents or children you have. It depends on how much you made total for the year. It really, really depends on a lot of different factors. And you guys, I'm not a tax professional. I don't work for the EDD. So you'd really need to consult with your tax professional. In my case, my specific case, it meant about a savings of $1,200. Which is a whole heck of a lot of money. But I had taxes taken out of all of my unemployment checks. If you're somebody that didn't have taxes taken out of all of your unemployment checks, it might be less. If you're someone who has dependents, I don't, I'm single with no kids, it might be more. So it really depends. I do understand that if you did like TurboTax, you should be able to log in and see the difference. So I'm sorry that I don't have a more specific answer, but it's really individualized. Otto says, I certified yesterday, but I'm still pending. Is that normal? I was paid for the previous weeks. That's going to depend. Are these 2 weeks outside of your benefit year? If these are the first 2 weeks after your benefit year has ended, it is normal to still be pending. You can kind of always pin for up to 72 hours, even if you're within your benefit year. If you're outside of your benefit year and you haven't filed a new claim, you definitely need to file a new claim as if you're not on PUA. If you're within your benefit year or you've already filed a new claim, it could be that your claim's in review. Could be that the pending falls off on Wednesday. If you've been pending for more than 2 weeks, that's when you're going to want to call them. Sean says, oh, that you're still good on UI. That's good. Over a year, your roommate has never had one problem. Now you're pending. He's in for it. Maybe not. It could just be the review. And then once he's pending for more than 2 weeks, try calling the EDD and getting them to push those payments through. Gabriel says, I'm zero balance. Do I get a federal extension? Do I call? So here's what normally happens when your EDD unemployment claim hits zero. It's going to be at zero. Your claim balance hits zero. It's even normal to see the maximum benefits paid message. Not everybody gets that, but a lot of people do. From there, you're going to probably get a letter either in the actual mail or in your UI online inbox that tells you which PEUC extension you're getting next. And then that balance is going to stay at zero until your next certification date. And it should give you a date to certify, and it should be 2 weeks from when your claim balance hits zero. From there, when you go to certify again, that's when your claim balance should increase. So it's going to stay at zero until you certify again, and that's when you'll see the increase. I wouldn't call before your next certification date because I have a feeling that they're just going to say to wait. However, if you either don't see a date to certify again, or when you go to certify again, if after you certify that you don't see that claim balance increase, that's when I would call them. Deborah says, I've only been paid for 2 weeks. How many weeks are you owed? Deborah, what's going on? Is that back pay? Hello, bad grandpa. My mouse skipped, so I'm going to skip in the questions for a minute. And if you guys haven't already, please take a moment and like the video. Your extension, Tier 2, about to end next week. You're granted a new claim at a lower weekly benefit amount. When September 4th comes and I don't find work, will I go to a new claim? Probably not. So if you're already, you're on a new claim with, hold on. Let me reassess my answer. You were granted a new claim with a lower weekly benefit amount. So you're on the PEUC extension. So you got that delayed new claim payment notice. So yes, you would go to the new claim at the lower weekly benefit amount for 26 weeks. Sorry, I almost misspoke on that. Yes. However, if you also got the 1277 denial letter, if you haven't done any work, that kind of, it trumps the award letter, and it means that the new claim isn't actually valid. So if you didn't have enough wages to actually make the new claim be valid, like if you hadn't worked at all. So like a lot of us, we've gotten an award letter and we got an invalid claim 1277 letter. If you get the 1277 letter, it meant you didn't actually qualify for a new claim, even if you got a benefit award letter. Now, if you were PEUC and you got the letter about the delayed claim, new payment, I'm messing up the acronym there, but if you got that letter that keeps you on the extension, even though you actually qualified for a new claim, then after September 4th, you actually would get 26 weeks on your new claim. Okay, I'm scrolling back up to figure out where I left off. So William says, I got a disqualification letter. Now they say I need to make at least $1,763 in order to continue benefits. That should not be true. If you got the disqualification letter, is it a letter of determination of invalid claim, that 1277 letter? That would be true for a new claim, but it sounds like you just didn't qualify for a new claim. If you don't qualify for a new claim, shouldn't be a big deal. That's when they should keep you on your old claim at your old weekly benefit amount and add the extensions to your old claim, even though your benefit year has ended. So I hope that's what's going on. Hello, Ava. Juan says people that work on Uber can be in trouble for not working. Um, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how that will play out for PUA. Certainly, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That is a tricky situation because it's kind of up to you guys when you go back to work. Um, so yeah, I don't know. You could still say that you're not getting many rides. I'm not sure. West Coast Livin' says, I was on Fed Ed. My balance just finished. Do I need to refile or wait to get extended? I had already filed a few weeks ago. So if you already filed a new claim, now you're waiting to find out if you were awarded a new claim, usually if you had done some work since you first filed, or you're waiting for that invalid claim letter if you hadn't worked. Those should be the next things that you're expecting in the mail. If you got the invalid claim letter, they should be adding the extension to your existing claim. They should do it automatically, but I'm really going to emphasize that word should because they don't always add it automatically. But once your claim hits zero, you're going to wait that 2 weeks. If you have a date you can certify again, that's a good sign that you would see your claim balance go up when you certify again. But it's also possible that the whole claim gets stuck in pending while it's in review. Once you get stuck on pending for more than 2 weeks, that's when you'll want to call. And if you're awarded a new claim, then they would move you over onto the new claim. Sean says, how are things more and more masks being lifted? My work won't need them in June. It's interesting and I feel mixed. You guys might know, maybe you don't know, my mom is not able to get vaccinated. She's very allergic to everything. We just went to the hospital today. She had to have a biopsy. The lidocaine or whatever they use to numb you, that stuff doesn't work on her. She's allergic to like everything under the sun. So it would literally be unwise for her to take that vaccine. I would be scared for her. Her doctor's not recommending none of it because of her unique situation. It makes it harder for us at work that the CDC has lifted the mask mandate because what we're getting a lot, and you guys, when you guys go out in the world, please just be kind about the mask thing. I'm anxious to take it off in public. It's hot. It's a pain in the tush to work with. But for indoor businesses, Los Angeles City County has not lifted the mask mandate for indoor businesses yet. Maybe they will on June 15th, but they haven't yet. And we're getting guessed. I think they mean well. Everybody just wants to get back to normal, but they're like, oh, so LA County knows better than the president. They know better than the CDC. And that doesn't help. We have a really strict health inspector. And if he came in and saw that we were allowing people with no mask, we'd be in big trouble. So that's how it's affecting me personally. I am anxious though to get back to normal, but I want to do so safely and carefully. Okay, Sally, thank you for the donation. You're on Fed Ed and now you're PEUC Tier 2, 11 weeks. Does a new extension get incorporated automatically once my funds get exhausted? Yes. And again, I'm going to put emphasis though on that word should. It should happen automatically. At the stage in your claim, you've probably already filed a new claim. And if they've kept you on the extension, probably means you did not qualify for a new claim. It should kick in like clockwork. You'll see this 11-week balance go all the way to zero though. It'll stay there for 2 weeks. You might even see the maximum benefits paid message. That would be normal as well. And then 2 weeks after your current balance hits zero, that's when they would load up your claim. With the 29-week extension, that's what would be next. And I do want everybody to just kind of be aware that they're going to put that whole 29-week claim balance into your account, and that should happen automatically. If it doesn't, you'll have to call. But you won't get all 29 weeks of that money at this point. The program's going to end September 4th. Okay. And again, thank you for the donation. Tarot by Tammy says, have I heard if California is cutting $300 in benefits and self-employed benefits? No, I've got this map behind me that's got a glare from my light. Who's that? I'm not good at my states. I know I've got Indiana there because I just colored it in. And West Virginia and one that starts with an I. public school. Woo! And I ditched a lot, guys. So I'm not good with the map, but I looked at the map. So everything that's in red behind me, those are the 19 states that are planning on ending their unemployment benefits early. And it's not just the $300 a week boost. They are planning on ending PUA benefits early, and they are planning on ending the PEUC extension early. So basically in those states, unless someone qualifies for a new claim, there's not going to be any more benefits for them. Some of those states as early as June 12th. California is still blank. I made a really great video with 4 reasons why I don't think California will be ending the benefits early. But it seems like every day more and more Republican states are adding to the list of states that want to end the program early. And you guys, I think this would make such a good video idea. I'm always trying to secretly scoop Jenny. She's probably already working on this one also. But if you guys have friends or family that live out of state that would want to come on Shelly's Millions and talk about how that's affecting them if they live in one of the states where benefits are going to be cut early, I would love to talk to them and get their experience and share that with you guys. I know that we have a lot of problems with the EDD here in California, but at least they're not talking about ending our benefits early. Okay, I'm going to scoot more centered now and take more questions. Colby says, I have a question. Okay, I hope you're still in here. I am about 15 minutes behind in the questions. You still have a balance, but you're currently working. Should I still certify for the rest of my benefits? I would. I did for a while, even when I returned back to work, but I was either getting the message that I was fully employed if I put that I worked more than 40 hours, or it would say excessive earnings on the weeks when I wasn't quite working 40 hours, but I was getting like 32. So I was earning too much to get benefits. But if your hours are really fluctuating week to week, then yeah, I would still certify and claim and just say that you're getting reduced hours because of the pandemic. Yeah. And if you ever need to, if you ever think, like if you get the excessive earnings warning a few times, but like then you have a week where your hours are really cut and they're a lot less, go on and certify again. That's my recommendation. Selena says, I hope we're in great wealth and spirits. Yes. Will everyone apply for a new claim? How would you not be eligible if they extended it to September? I'm so confused. There is really not a way to not get some benefits through September. The only way to not get benefits through September 4th is if somehow they found out that you were committing fraud. If they find out that you're committing fraud, they would totally stop paying you. And some people, if you get hit with like an overpayment letter or something like that, your benefits might stop while you have like an appeal hearing. But hopefully once the appeal hearing would happen and everything gets sorted out, you would get paid all those back weeks, even if they temporarily stopped paying you. So everybody, as long as you're not committing fraud, should be paid through September 4th. So here's the 2 scenarios. There's more than 2 scenarios. I'm going to go over 2 because they're the most common. One is that you haven't worked at all, and so you're not going to qualify for a new claim. I also have a really great video about why they're making us do this. And it has to do with probably how these red states negotiated the stimulus package. But they want us to see if we qualify for a new unemployment claim. Regardless, they're making everybody do it unless you're on PUA. If you file a new claim and you haven't worked, you're not going to qualify for that new claim. That is when they would add the extensions to your existing claim. And if you do qualify for a new claim, depending on whether you were going from Fed Ed or PEUC, you would either get the new claim amount right away, or if you're PEUC but your balance is lower by $25 or more, then you would stay on the extension through September 4th at your current amount, and then they would switch you to the new claim. If you're going from Fed Ed to a new claim and you qualify, even if it's a much lower amount, they would keep you at the lower amount. But regardless, it should go through September 4th here in the state of California. whether you're approved an official new claim or not. I hope that made sense. Okay. Tammy said, I used Claimyr and they called back within an hour, talking to a rep in about 20 minutes. And you certified and were pending, and then I was paid. She said I had a flag. What does that mean? Flags can be, Selena says she means health, not wealth. Well, thank you for that, because my mom's not wealthy and we did go to the doctor to check on her health, and health is better than wealth. Okay, so Tammy's, the flags can be there for a lot of reasons. The flags can be there for how you answered a certification question. The flags can be there just if you need to have an interview. The flag can be there that your benefit year is ending. There's a lot of different flags. But if they removed it, that then switch you to paid, that sounds good. Ava says, I just reapplied and I'm back at work, working only 8 to 12 hours, well below my average. My year just ended. What do I do? So, in your situation, you definitely want to file a new claim and keep certifying for benefits. Hello, Lorraine from Sacramento. Fred says, I called EDD at least 5 times. They say it's on its way and it's processing. They can't push it and there's no date. I've been pending since March. Fred, I feel like you probably have done this. Try calling one more time, asking very nicely for a tier 2 rep and seeing if that tier 2 rep can push it through. And I'm so sorry that you've been pending since March, and I hope that they get it sorted out. Have they said it's because you need a phone determination interview? If you need a phone determination interview, the reps won't be able to speed that up, unfortunately. Greg, if unemployment remains high after September 4th, do you think they would extend benefits more? On the federal level, I don't. We've got 19 red states that are not going to vote for more stimulus, in my opinion. I think it would be very hard to get a federal program pushed through. I mean, all these states are abandoning the federal program that exists right now. They're saying, we don't want to do it. We want to end it. If the unemployment rate is high here in the state of California after September 4th, above 6%, Fed Ed would still be a possibility for some claims. If you already used Fed Ed in this past year, then that probably would not be available to you. But if you've gone from PEUC to PEUC to PEUC extension, Fed Ed would potentially be a possibility based on your earnings requirement and based on California's unemployment rate. And with things opening back up, in theory, back to maybe 100% in June, I'm not sure what our unemployment rate's going to look like in September. It's hard to say where we'll be at. So yeah, and I don't know what it'll be in California. Most of these states, their unemployment rate is already below 6%. Hello, Diamond Pikachu. I'm skipping around a little bit. Oh, hello, Carrie. Mask or no mask will bring violence among people. Be careful if you hear gunfire hit the ground. That's very grim. I live in a neighborhood where there's lots of fireworks every day, especially if the Lakers win or the Dodgers win or UCLA wins or USC wins. We have fireworks all the time in this neighborhood. But yeah, stay safe, you guys. Spell legacy like death left me a very sweet message. Thank you. Okay. D-Rock says, why do they allow newly accepted claims to certify if they immediately get stuck under pending and go under some kind of review? So it's just so that once the review is done, then pretty much instantly they can switch to paid. Like if the review happened first, but you weren't allowed to certify, then you'd still have to go on and certify all those weeks. So if you're certifying as you go along, as the weeks come up, it's just already going to be there and ready for them the second that review is done. Plus, like there are a lot of us now that are back to work. We're working some hours. Can you imagine like going back and trying to remember how many hours you worked like 6 or 8 weeks after the fact? I'm sure some of us have to actually do that, but it would be harder. I would have trouble remembering how many hours I worked, and it would just be more hassle on us, in my opinion, if we had to certify for like a lot of weeks after that review was done. So I think they're on the right path there, getting everything ready so that it's good to go as soon as that review is done. No, Richard has like the strong arm because he's been pending for 6 weeks. Please, please, please reach out to your assembly member. I have the link in the description on how to get in touch with your assembly member. Try and call. Rep over on TikTok told me between 2:30 and 4 is the best time to try and get through. Speak to a tier 2 rep, ask EDD, and contact us. Please, please, please try and get through. Otto said, I already filed a claim. I'm on the 29-week extension. Okay, I don't remember what that's about. Mariah says, I reapplied for a new claim, and when I look online, it says you must look for work. Is that correct? Winky face. No. So, and my claim said that for the longest time. So I looked for work every week. What's going to happen is I still recommend clicking yes that you looked for work. And I recommend looking and finding your dream job right now. So apply for the jobs that you don't think you'll get. Maybe you will. Maybe they'll have like an entry level position and they'll train up. Who knows? But apply for those dream jobs. So I always hit yes that I was looking for work. And I actually hit places that I had looked, even though I was furloughed. But then once I got a callback date, I started hitting skip where it asks you to list where you looked for work. And after I hit skip, I think it was 2 certifications in a row. That's when it removed the wording, you must look for work. But the work search requirement is definitely still waived. That was in the most recent EDD news release. So we do not have to look for work right now. And they even said that it's okay to answer no to that question. The reason why I'm hesitant to say, yeah, it's okay to say, no, I didn't look for work this week, is because in my experience, that has caused people's claims to get stuck on pending. But work search requirement still waived. Okay, BM says, I reapplied last week and I certified and it's pending. You got your inbox about some work requirements. I thought work requirements are waived. They are. That's probably the same thing she got, so that Mariah got. So a lot of times that's just kind of standard wording. The computer system doesn't know that the work search requirements were waived for COVID, but it's definitely still waived. Deborah's 5 weeks not paid. You got to try and call them, Deborah. I know that it's really hard to get through. Try between 2:30 and 4. Yeah, and BM, if it's under review, you're going to stay pending until it's done with that review, unfortunately. But once you've been pending 3 weeks, 2 weeks might be a little soon, but once you've been pending 3 weeks, call the EDD and see if they can push the payments through. You guys, when you do talk to the EDD, make sure to let them know you're experiencing financial hardship because you haven't been paid in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, however many weeks you have not been paid. Jamaica says, I certified 418 and I still haven't gotten paid. So again, you got to call them and see if they can push those payments through. And yeah, Deborah, it could be that your claim is under review. If you recently filed a new claim, there's a lot of reasons why it could be pending, but unfortunately, you're going to have to call them again and see if you can talk to a tier 2 rep. Since you've been pending 5 weeks, in your case, it might be worth it to reach out to your assembly member. And I know that this doesn't always work, but in all the news releases, they keep saying that they're improving their Ask EDD features and their Contact Us features. So even though it's unlikely, in my opinion, that you'd get a response that way, it's still worth it to give those two options a try. Okay, Gilbert says, after you file a new claim, how long do you have to wait for the extension to go through? Asking because I haven't worked the whole year, so I know my claim won't be valid. It's between 2 weeks and 6 weeks that it can be in review. But after the second or third week, try calling the EDD and seeing if they can push the payments through. Link in Beetle. No, California is not ending the payments early, just the states in red. And they're up to 19 now. And there's some in red in this glare as well. But California's not talking about it. Manuel says, I did my new claim and did the ID picture, and now I am on the new extension. It was a long wait and it's worth it. I'm very happy that you're now on the extension and hopefully getting paid. Jose says, balance will hit 0 in between certifications this week. I'm on PEUC. Will I only get paid for that 1 week? Yes. So here's what's going to happen with yours, or what should happen with yours. It's the EDD, so I never know for sure. You probably won't be able to certify for the whole 2 weeks, right? So if you'll end this week, let's see, I'll pull up my little calendar. So if you run out of benefits in between, but it'll probably say that you'll certify again on Sunday, May 30th. When you certify, the first week, the week ending Saturday the 22nd, should switch to paid. The second week that you certify should switch to NA. Then it won't be a whole 2 weeks before you certify again. Then it should have you certify again on Sunday, June 6th. And when you certify on June 6th, you'll actually be certifying for the week ending June 5th and the week ending May 29th. And so on June 6th is when you should be paid for that week, and you'll certify a little bit faster. So it's just going to kind of change your certification schedule. Is how that should work. Okay, I hope that made sense. Teresa said, been waiting for an extension since March, called several times, and they say to wait for 7 to 10 days. You guys, I tend to not believe them when they give this specific timeline. This, it's going to change in 48 hours. 7 to 10 days. I think that what the EDD is doing is like, they don't want to tell you, you just have to wait. So instead, they get your hopes up and give you this 7 to 10 day time frame, hoping that like the review will be complete there. I don't know that for sure. But that I have not personally seen it actually change. I think sometimes it does change and it's just random. I'm not sure it's anything that the rep actually did. So I guess wait the 7 to 10 days, but if it doesn't change on day 10, be ready to call them again. Jesse says, why would they give you an interview for benefits if they already paid you for a whole year? They dropped some requirements at the beginning of the pandemic to try and push payments through to us faster. But now those requirements are back in place, so a lot of us have to have the interview. Jesus says, I got some mail from the EDD saying to register for EDD. DC34 says, who funds our unemployment? It's actually our previous employers. That's why it didn't exist for people who were self-employed prior to the PUA program being implemented. When this all started, I thought, like probably a lot of us did, that I personally put funds into unemployment, but it's not. It totally comes from your employer. So the employer usually, but right now it's coming from largely from the federal government. eLife says, I've been requested to certify weekly. What's going on? I haven't quite figured that one out. I've noticed that sometimes if the rep does push through a hardship payment, that can trigger weekly certifications, but I wouldn't worry too much about it as long as you're getting paid. It's a minor inconvenience. But yeah, I don't know. And you've even got the laughy face, so at least you've got a good attitude about it. But yeah, I haven't figured anything out about it. I haven't seen a video from Jenny about it, which probably means she hasn't figured it out either. I just don't know. But yeah, that's happened to a lot of people. But as long as you're getting paid, try not to worry too much about it. Thong says, what happens if you don't have a date to certify? You're going to have to call them and tell them and then get them to add that for you. Oh, Anthony said, Bad Grandpa says, you didn't get the 1227 letter. You're getting $450 a week. Your new claim is $335 a week. You work you worked the first 2 quarters of the base period. All right. So then, yeah, after you're done with all the extensions, you should still get 26 weeks of regular unemployment. And guys, I am about 25 minutes behind in the questions. Augustine says, how long does it take for EDD to send the letter for PEUC2? Is it automatic? Yes, and sometimes it's just a message in your UI online inbox. It's usually about 5 to 7 days after your claim balance hits 0. Jacqueline says, I still have one payment that's been pending since April from my old claim. I filed a new claim and got a couple letters in the mail about my new claim and a certification paper to fill out for March 28th. Sorry, I'm trying to read all of Jacqueline's question, but I don't see it. So Jacqueline, that's normal. If you got the 1277 letter, though, you won't actually get the new claim. If you've got a week pending on your old claim, you're going to need to call the EDD to get that paid. If you truly did qualify for the new claim, and you don't necessarily have to mail in that certification if you also already certified online, because if you certified online for that week and you mail in the paper certification, one of them will say duplicate and will not be paid. It's not a big deal. That actually doesn't hang up the claims, even if you end up doing both. It's just if you do paper and online, one of them will say disqualified. If you got the new claim and it's just and you truly qualified for the new claim and that's what you're getting paid on now, but you're missing that 1 week, you need to use the Ask EDD feature and ask them to backdate your claim to that pending week from April. Motive says, I refiled on April 5th and was rewarded 29 weeks of PEUC. I received a message the other day to refile again. I'm able to certify 6 weeks pending, but you have 6 weeks pending. Okay, so you've messaged your assembly member. That's good. I think that those messages that we all got, I filed a new claim with a rep over the phone. I got an award letter. I got an invalid claim letter. I got a message about whether the payment was going to come on a check or the EDD debit card. I got all that stuff again. And I also got a thing telling me I need to file a new claim. So I think that they just sent those letters to everybody, even if we had already filed a new claim. But emailing your assembly member is a good step to try and get those 6 weeks paid. But I don't think you need to file another new claim. Polly says, I'm on my 3rd extension, and under the CARES Act, my benefit year ends July. Will I get benefits past September, boost or no boost? So in July, you need to file a new claim. If you've done some work and qualify for a new claim, then potentially your claim would go past September. If you haven't done any work since you first filed last July, then they would keep you on the extension through September 4th. And the only thing that would potentially be available after that date would be Fed Ed, but that's tied into California's unemployment rate. And if our unemployment rate is below about 6%, that program will no longer be available in September. So it really depends on your personal situation and how that, if you get awarded a totally new claim or not. Violet Bulletproof says, I have a question. I recently started a job but was on EDD for a year. I certified for the last 3 weeks, and while I refiled my application 5 weeks ago, EDD is still saying pending. Should I call? Yeah, it is time to call. 5 weeks is on the longer side. That third-party claim review can take up to 6 weeks, but that's really on the longer side. And what I've really seen is that after about week 3, some people are calling on week 2. If you can, I'd wait till week 3. After week 3, it seems like for the most part, the reps are able to push those payments through. Cindy says, now I have to reopen claim button. What do I do? You got to call the EDD to remove that because it is most likely a glitch. Yes, DC 34, either the employer funds all of our unemployment benefits or the federal government does. Because for PUA, for people that were self-employed, they didn't pay this unemployment tax. And so the federal government is footing the bill for that. Brian says, I hope California will keep extending the benefits. I think they will, but only through September. They just did the Golden State stimulus, the extra $600. They've expanded who's eligible for that. I'm not sure that, I don't know. I'm mentally preparing for there not to be anything after September 4th. Carrie, they're just test cases for what? To see if blue states should do that? To see if people actually take minimum wage jobs back? Like, what are they the test cases for? Larry says, spoke with a senator representative, and she just said it can take up to 60 days before you get a phone interview. You're homeless now waiting on an interview, and this is unfair. Larry, my heart goes out to you on that. Is it too, have you already lost your home? Are you able to tell your landlord not to kick you out because you're waiting on money from the EDD due to the COVID-19 pandemic? See if a Catholic charity can help you. You don't have to be a member of the Catholic faith in order to get funds from them if they have them available. Also check rental assistance. I don't know if it's too late for rental assistance, but check if you can Google rental assistance California, rental assistance in your county, like Merced County, and then your city, like Palo Alto. I don't think Palo Alto is in Merced County, but like city, state, and county, and plus the word rental assistance, and see what comes up. I'm so sorry about that. Oscar says, I went to an interview today for a job and they offer crumbs. I'd rather keep getting unemployment, which is part of the issue. I don't know what's going to happen with this. A lot of people, myself included, so I'm not judging, I was bringing home more on unemployment. It was because I wasn't having health benefits taken out of it, no 401k payment. I had a 401k loan. None of that was coming out of my unemployment checks, whereas it would have of my work check, and different taxes on that money too. At work, I'm taxed almost 28%. I think, maybe 20%. I don't know. It's a lot. Whereas on EDD, even if you had taxes taken out, it was only 10%. So the money that I physically had in my hands on unemployment was more than my salary job. So I get it. So aim high, aim for a really great job. Rich says, happy Monday. Does anyone know blue states cutting benefits? I do not. It's crazy how they're cutting benefits and people are still waiting. Yes. Sirius says, in California, they're going to shut the PUA, my unemployment off soon. I need to know. No, not until September 4th is when California is scheduled to end it. Patricia, thank you for the donation. When you file a new claim at your benefit year end, does EDD look back only 12 months for work, or is it longer? And she's reminding people to like the video. So they do look back. They look at a 12-month period, but it's not necessarily the most recent 12 months. So there's a thing called a base period, and we're in May. So hold on. Let me look up EDD base period and see if I can pull that chart up. Okay. So for example, right now, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this. Is that the alternate base period? So if your claim begins in April, May, or June, they'd actually be looking at January through December of 2020. There's no way you guys can see that. Most of us, like me, I ended in March. So they were actually looking, March. So they were looking at October, November, and December of, well, that was when I first filed. Hang on, getting tripped up here. March. When I filed in March, let's just go with this. I don't know why my brain is clogging right now. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. 2019, when I first filed in 2018. So when I first filed in 2020, they were looking all the way back to 2018. If your benefit year ended in March of this year, they would actually be looking back to October, November, December of 2019 through September of 2020. Whew, that took me way too long to work out, guys. And April, May, or June, if that's when your benefit year ends, then they would be looking at January through December of 2020. But like June, that would be quite a bit into 2021. So even in June, even if your claim ends June 30th, they're not looking at any wages in 2021. They're only looking at wages in 2020. So this is, hang on, let's see if you guys can see that. So these are the base periods depending on when you filed. So they're looking at 12 months of income, but it might not be like the 12 most recent months. Like if your benefit year ends June 30th, they're only looking at all of 2020's wages. Okay. So it's not exactly longer than 12 months. It's just a weird 12 months that they're looking at. I hope that made sense. And again, thank you for the donation. Aloha. Oh, I didn't mean to skip George. You finally got through to the EDD to tell me I'm waiting for a phone interview. So why couldn't they give me the interview right there when I got through? 10 weeks pending. The person who picked up the phone probably doesn't have the proper training. It's probably not enough people with the proper training. I don't know if it's tier 2 reps, but I know probably the people that they have on the phones don't have the specific training needed to conduct the phone interviews. Unfortunately, it would be nice if they could just do that when you called, but at least now you know why you're pending. And at 10 weeks, the phone interview should be coming any day now. So in your situation, make sure to answer those calls, even if it's not a familiar number. Although the EDD does say that they'll call from specific numbers, and I'll try and get you that tweet that says the numbers that comes from. Poison says California should go on until September. Don't worry. Yes, correct. Barbara says, my name is Barbara. Are they going to be ending New York State unemployment PUA? Not that I've heard of yet. It seems like more and more states are adding onto it every day, but so far the states that are run primarily as Democratic states are not talking about ending the programs early. And I would be very surprised if New York did. So no, they're not one that's talking about ending it early. Crystal says, I got denied a new claim, yet I was on the PEUC extension, and now it asks me to certify, but it says disqualification, and my PEUC ended. Help. Thank you. So I don't know why this is happening, but what is most likely happening is that both claims are somehow in the system. The new claim that you're not actually qualified to get, and the old claim that they should be loading the extensions onto. When you go on to certify, we don't get to pick like which claim we're certifying on, the old one or the new one. It just takes us to a page and we certify. But somehow those two claims aren't communicating properly. And so the one that it had you certify on is not the right one. And so that's moving to disqualification because the weeks need to be certified on the other claim. And sometimes it's happening on the new claim, sometimes it's happening on the old claim. And unfortunately, you do need to call a rep to fix that and have them put the certification on the right claim. And then after that, it should stay on the right claim going forward. That's usually what's happening right now. There can be some other reasons for disqualification, potentially how you answered the certification questions. But most common right now is it just that when you filed for a new claim, then when you go on to certify, it's not loading the correct one for you to certify on. And so one of them is getting disqualified. So unfortunately you have to call, but it should be a simple fix. Okay. Rich says, I think there are 20 red, or they're at 20 red states. Was there another one? I only saw the 19 states. Indiana got added today to this list of states wanting to end it early. WH, thank you for the donation. You got through the EDD rep today and said it will take 7 to 10 days to switch from UI to PEUC. Is the timing normal? Potentially, yes. That's when that claim balance will stay at 0 until your next certification date. And in about 5 to 7 days is when you should get the letter letting you know that you're being put onto PEUC. And a good sign would be if you see the next date, you can certify. And it'll be normal for that balance to stay at 0 all the way until your next certification date. So in that case, it could be true, but you're not going to see the claim balance go up in 7 to 10 days. But you should be able to get the letter in your UI online inbox and see a date you can certify again. And then on that certification date is when the claim balance will go up. Jane, oops, lost my place. Shoot. I'm going to skip up to Jane's question, if I can find it. And then I'm probably going to start skipping around so I can make sure that you guys are still in here. I do need to go pretty close to on time today because I skipped out on some work duties so I can do this for you guys, and I got to get back to those. Shoot. Uh-oh. I really want to try and get Dawn's because I started to read hers. And then if you guys want to start asking a little bit lower down, if I skipped you, then that's okay. Oh, Camel Toe Bossy. Thank you for the sticker. Let's see if you've got it. Let's see if you've got a question. Uh-oh. Let's do Juan's because Juan's a member and that's popping out. It says, still stuck on pending 4 weeks. You emailed your Assemblywoman's office, but you haven't heard back. Should I contact my state senator? I would give it at least 3 days. Usually they contact you back within 48 hours. If they haven't gotten back to you within 36 hours, that's when you might want to try with a senator. I'm not sure that the senators have had as much success getting claims moving as the assembly members. Okay, I'm going to start. Oh, no, California's not canceling. I should keep over here. California is not one of the states thinking about ending benefits early at this time. Okay, guys, I'm going to skip around on the questions. I'm sorry if I missed your question. Hopefully, as I'm answering other people's questions, it also answers your question. Excuse me. Aloha state of mind. It's just commenting. Sorry, the one I looked at was just a comment back to someone else's. True Ones Last says, I've been pending so long that my phone lines have been shut off. There is my interview. I've been waiting or ever to do to get me out of pending. All right. True Ones Last. There should be like a utility forgiveness program. However you're online, are you able to reach out to your phone provider and see if they have like a hardship program so that they can get your phones turned back on so that you don't miss your phone interview? Also, however you're online right now, definitely use the link in the description of this video to reach out to your assembly member. Let them know what's going on. Let them know that you might not even have a phone to have the phone determination interview. Let them know. Make sure to use the words financial hardship and see if they can help you. I'm so sorry about that. Uh-oh. Yeah, and Larry's saying that his assembly member and senators said up to 60 days because all of these methods are getting really backed up. You know, for a while, the assembly members were having better luck, but now they seem to be having a tough time with it too. I don't know what that noise just was. Dawn says, Texas, will we get to keep our benefits until September? As of right now, Texas isn't one of the states that's talking about ending the program early, but they are one that I'm keeping my eye on. I've got to admit, I'm a little bit nervous that Texas is going to want to jump in on this. So we have to keep our eye on that and see. I'm not sure if Texas is going to keep their benefits, but right now they're not talking about ending it early. But yesterday, Indiana wasn't talking about ending theirs early, and then today they are. So it really stinks. Oh dear. Oh no. It is harder in the states that are run by Republicans. You know, a lot of them, I don't know. I gotta think that they all have their reasons. Oh, Texas is done next month? No, you guys, the website that I use to track this, High Rose, is Unemployment PUA. They're really good about updating their information. I even told them, I was like, your flashing tracker is hurting my eyes, and they changed it. Oops. I hit the wrong thing. Let me see. I have not read that Texas ended benefits on 6/26. Hold on. That's gonna stink. Hold on. I think you guys are right. Are we up to 20 states now? Hold on. Hold on. That's terrible. Hold on. Let's Google it because I can't. It's not that I didn't pull up the right thing. Texas ending. Texas ends unemployment. Yep, 4 hours ago. Wonderful. Yep. Texas is ending it. Texans join. Well, you guys get to watch the magic of the coloring and of the map. This brings me no joy. Yeah, I was worried that Texas was going to be one of them. Sorry, because it's in a bad posture. Of course. This is terrible. Terrible, terrible. You guys help each other out in the comments while I draw Texas red. Great. It's terrible. All right, I'm really sorry. Okay. Yep, Leo, you're correct. Prezi says, what documents needed to send to the EDD for an appeal? It's gonna vary based on what it is that you're appealing. It's going to depend on, are you appealing an ID verification? Are you appealing an overpayment? Are you appealing that you don't have a valid new claim? So whatever they're asking for, make sure that you send that to them. Even if it's a document that you think that the EDD is going to send to them, please have that ready on the day of your appeal. When my friend did an appeal, the EDD was supposed to send something, and surprise, surprise, they didn't. And so then they had to like reschedule his appeal. Summer, you're welcome. Claimyr does work. That's the thing. It doesn't hold for you. Hold times can still be super long. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a rep that will help with your claim, but if you're going to use Claimyr anyway, save yourself $5 off your first call with the discount code. You guys, I was trying to give out 25 free Claimyr calls, like out of my own pocket. I wanted to try and give back to you guys, to those of you who truly can't afford it. I still have about 5 that I haven't given out. So if you need a free Claimyr call, you have to have a PayPal. Don't leave it in the chat here because then I can't erase it. Go on to my latest EDD news release video. It's got a yellow background, and under the top pinned comment, leave me your PayPal email address, and I'll send you the $14.99 and my code so that you can do a Claimyr call for $14.99. About 5 of those left. Carrie's, will Texas also not take any of the stimulus package items or just the unemployment? If they give out 4 stimulus checks, will they stop those? I think we're really putting the horse in front of the cart, as they say on this. Yeah, we really got to see. Scotty says, how long does it take for the judge to mail me back my ruling for the appeal? It should be 10 business days. So Scotty, you should be getting that any time now. Douglas says, I filed a new claim on 3/11 and received an award letter on 3/16 with the same weekly benefit amount. My UI Online account still shows 2020, and I was just awarded PEUC Tier 2. Shouldn't have gone to the new unemployment claim. Possibly. A lot of us got award letters and we got invalid claim notices. So if you got an invalid claim notice 1277, then even if you got an award letter, you wouldn't go to a new claim. Additionally, if you didn't do any work at all since you first filed the new claim, the original claim, then you wouldn't qualify for a new claim either. So it's possible that you got an award letter and the invalid claim letter just has not arrived. So yeah, or the other possibility is that you do qualify for a new claim. Oh, but you said it's the same weekly benefit amount. So yeah, yeah, it sounds like maybe you haven't done any work since you first filed the original claim, and in that case, you would stay on the existing claim. You did qualify for a new claim and you didn't get a 1277. So then you got to call them about that and ask why, because that is really, really weird. So Douglas, you've done some work since you originally filed the claim in 2020. It's super weird, but like sometimes the EDD does not do what they were supposed to do. For example, I have a coworker, she was on Fed Ed. She didn't work at all and they put her on a new claim. So she shouldn't have qualified for a new claim, but they put her on one anyway. Douglas, you'll have to call them about that and say, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be on a new claim instead of on my old claim. So that's really, really weird. And so, yeah, so then what should happen for you is that you'll move to a fresh set of 26 weeks of unemployment benefits. And then if California still has a high unemployment rate, then you would potentially be eligible for Fed Ed. May says my balance is 0 and I don't have a button to certify for my benefits. What do? I already reapplied because my year expired March 15th. If the certify for benefits button is missing, unfortunately, you have to call the EDD to get that added back. Rev'd 420 says, I don't remember the name of the senator creating a new bill to end unemployment on June for all 50 states. I don't think that's going to pass, especially if states can opt out if they want to. I don't think they're going to be able to force the other states to get on board with that. So, and here's the frustrating thing to me. Why do the politicians do this if they know that's not going to pass? That's like a huge waste of everyone's time. Like these things that are like super wacky that they know everyone's not going to be on board with. Like, why don't they spend time doing stuff that can actually get through legislation? Like, I don't understand unless it's like all for show. I just don't get it. Okay. I got a work text. Okay. I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes. I'll try and take a couple more questions and then I got to go do the stuff that I stopped doing to do this live for my other job. Oh, Carrie, LA Late is telling people that there will be 4th multiple stimulus checks. Carrie. Okay, I'll watch his videos. I don't normally have time between being back at work at the theater and doing YouTube and doing the lives and taking my mom to the doctor, and I sprained my stupid foot or ankle. I'm not really sure which, but I'm gonna have to go to the doctor to look at that tomorrow. So I've been a busy girl. I know that they are talking about a 4th stimulus package, and they're talking about a 4th stimulus check in it. But look at this. It's going to be the same. These are all the states that aren't going to want that. And last time they passed it as part of the continued resolution when they were talking about like the budget, right? I don't think that they can pass it through continued resolution this time around. I think it is very unlikely. And I don't even necessarily think there were a couple of Democratic governors that were a little bit iffy about it last time. I don't think a 4th stimulus check is coming. That is my personal opinion. Carrie, I'm curious what you think. If Sean's still in here, I'm also curious what Sean thinks. And some states are doing some things independently, but California just did the $600 Golden State stimulus. They just upped like the upper limit increase in order to qualify for that. I think, or at least they're talking about it. I don't think that's actually passed either, the increased upper income limit to get the Golden State stimulus. But yeah, I don't, my personal feeling is that's going to be really hard to get through. And I don't think they will. And Don't watch LA Late. He's just clickbaiting people. See, that's the thing, you guys. Like, and I like to make stimulus videos. I'm just curious. Like, I'm curious. I told you guys I wanted to look into if it was even legal for these states to back out of this federal program. And I haven't had a lot of time because I just did the live yesterday, mom at the doctor today, blah, blah, blah. But like, I think it is legal for them to do it. Is it moral for them to do it? Probably not. But I want to look into the why about that. And I will make stimulus videos, but I don't like all this, "Oh, he said this and she said this." Like, I don't wanna put out too many. I want the videos that I put out to be meaningful to you guys, and I don't think it's helpful to get our hopes up like that and, you know, to be on bated breath, "Oh, they said this, so it's more likely. Oh, they said this, so it's less likely." That just kind of it stinks, and it puts us on an emotional roller coaster. LA Late is partying like 1999. Well, I like Prince and I like that song. Um, I mean, and a lot of us, like, I might need to pivot. I'm not sure long term what's going on with my current job. I would love to do YouTube full time and make it a full time career. And I think the stimulus videos make a lot of money, but like, unless something's really happening, I don't care if the wind blows. Do you guys care? Do you guys want me to make videos like, "Ooh, this person said this." Like, we could just churn those out and regurgitate what the news says, but like, I just think it's crappy. Okay, anyway, Scotty says, if you qualified for the first California stimulus, then you won't be eligible for the second one because it's not really a second one. They're just expanding who's eligible for the first one. So it's easier if you think of it like that. It's not a second California stimulus. They're expanding the eligibility of people. We need help until the world opens up. That's true, A Young, but even here in California, they're looking at opening things up at a much higher capacity starting in June. Let's see here. Okay, Terry says you got a determination letter on your UI Online saying they will put you on another 11 weeks of PEUC Tier 2, effective 5/9. Your claim balance is still 0. Is it normal? It is. So my guess is probably this past weekend your claim balance hit 0, or maybe the week before it hit 0. So then you'll probably see the maximum benefits paid message on your UI Online homepage. You might not. Now you've got the letter that you're getting the 11-week extension. So you won't see your claim balance increase until you certify again. So you said effective 5/9. So you're going to certify again on the 23rd. So that I can't remember if it's right before or right after you certify, but that's when you should see your claim balance increase on when you certify again. And thank you for the donation. Michelle says, my benefit year ends soon. Do I reapply or wait? If you're not on a PUA claim, traditionally for the self-employed or gig workers, you can file a new claim about 5 days early. So if it's about 5 days before your 12 months is up, that's about as early as you can certify. You're welcome. You're welcome, Terry. You're very welcome. And thank you very much for the donation. It's a good sign that you see the next date you can certify. If for some reason you certify for benefits and that balance doesn't go up after you certify, that's when you would need to call them. But it sounds like the right thing is happening on your claim. Okay. Oh yeah. Rev'd 420 says, I noticed that the EDD and the Department of Labor in New York City, they do things differently. Yeah, each state is different. That's what makes some of this so hard, is that it's not even a standard computer system. It's not a standard computer program. It's not a form that all of the states use. It's individualized for each state, which makes it hard to roll out. And it's frustrating. Like, I was like, we should really make this, be standard on a national level. But like, then it really gets political, like, do we want to do everything like Texas does? Do they want to do everything like California does? It's interesting to me. I didn't realize a lot of these things till I was older. Like, I can't think of a restaurant, Del Taco. They don't have Del Tacos nationwide. I think they have Whataburger in Texas. We don't have Whataburger here in California. Like it's even though we're all the United States, it's very different. Like in India, they don't eat the same food that we do here in the United States. It's just different. I didn't realize that like growing up, just how different everything is. And it is hard. Like one solution doesn't necessarily fit even all of us here in the United States. But that's what's beautiful about it, is that we can all like have our own opinions and state them and all of that. Okay. Gloria, good vibes, good vibes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, got my little love sweater on. Martin says 6 weeks pending and couldn't get a hold of them all day. Try between 2:30 and 4. Martin, you would be an excellent candidate to get that free Claimyr call, courtesy of me. Leave a comment under the top pinned comment on my most current EDD news release video. It's got a yellow background. I still have about 5 Claimyr codes that I want to give out to you guys if you guys can't afford to use them. It is a service that a lot of people really like. I know I myself feel mixed about feeling like we need to pay to get through the EDD. We shouldn't, but so many people have sang its praises that I've got the discount code, and I want to give back to those of you who truly can't afford it. So leave a comment with your PayPal email address under that. And then as soon as I pull those 5 people and I get the PayPal addresses, I will remove your PayPal address to try and keep your email safe. Tammy says, how long before I get a letter from the unemployment office regarding the phone interview? You've been pending for 5 weeks now. So unfortunately, I've just saw a lot of people comment that they never got the letter telling them when it was, and that they were just lucky that they answered the phone. So you might not ever actually get a letter that tells you when it is. You could try calling again and saying, hey, like I should be due any time for my phone determination interview. Are you able to see the date that is? That also could be something that your local assembly member might be able to help you with. Just say, hey, I haven't been paid in 5 weeks. Make sure to use the words, I am experiencing financial hardship because I haven't been paid in 5 weeks. They've said that I need a phone determination interview, but they haven't told me when that's going to be. Is there any way that you can help me figure out what date that's going to be so that I make sure that I'm near my phone's charged, and that I've got all my paperwork ready? Or is there anything that you can do to help get me paid faster? That's my recommendation. Yes. And Patricia's saying to try using a different language when you call the EDD, that sometimes those lines are faster, and they should all speak English as well, no matter which one you pick. Michelle says, you have a regular claim. How long will it possibly take to reapply for a new claim? So you'll file once your 12 months is over, and then it can take 2 to 3 weeks just to find out if you're approved for the new claim. Your claim also goes through a third party for fraud review, and then from there, they release the pending payments. But more often than not, I'm seeing people have to call after about week 3 to move those pending payments to paid. And I'm going to do Beto Kiyo's question, and then I got to go. I didn't file a new claim. My benefit year ended and you got paid today, and you have a next certification date. Is that possible? I guess it is possible if you got paid, and that's great. I tend to say, don't worry about it as long as you're getting paid, but it also depends on when your benefit year ended. Did it just end? If so, my gut level feeling tells me that next time when you certify, that those 2 will get stuck on pending. So if your benefit year has ended and you're not on a PUA claim, I do recommend either filing a new claim yourself online or calling the EDD and helping them file a new claim with you. Okay. All right. I'm going to do one more because, all right. I'm going to write, okay. See, this is not fair. All right. Fine. I'm going to do this. I want Duckman. Please delete that comment because I leave my chat visible, and I'm very concerned that people are going to like try and scam you pretending to be me. I just don't want them having your like email address. You know what I mean? So delete that comment. You delete that comment right now. Duckman529. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Message retracted. I'm going to stay on now until I see that go away. So it's supposed to be a comment on a video, because I can't remove these comments from chat like once I end the live. You got it. You deleted it. And I got your information. And you guys don't respond to anybody pretending to be me. If somebody's like, oh, yeah, I need more information to send you the money to do Claimyr. No, that's a lie. It's not me. Denise, what's going on? All right, Denise, I'm going to do Yoli's, and then Denise, let me know what's going on. And then I really, really, really got to go. Yoli says benefit year was 4/24. I filed a new claim on 5/2, and on 5/13, I received a notice to file a new claim. Should I reapply again? I do not mean to laugh, Yoli. I just cannot believe the EDD. I should at this point. It should not be a surprise. I believe that is just a standard letter that they sent to all of us without PUA claims if our benefit year was over. If you have recently filed a new claim, you should not need to file a new one. But notice I say should because it's the stinking EDD, and half the time I don't know what the heck they're doing. So yeah. So yeah, if you already filed a new claim, you should not need to file a new one. Denise says, you reapplied, your year ended, and you got a hold with a rep. She filed a new claim and told me 10 days I should have a new balance and an amount on my online. So that's all. That is all. But I think she may have been telling you a tall tale about how quickly all of that's going to happen. Because once you file a new claim, it does go to review. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 weeks for them to determine if you're eligible for the new claim or if you're going to stay on your existing claim. And a lot of people are getting stuck pending at about week 3 and are having to call the EDD to push payments through. So it's good that you took that first step. Angel Sirs, I don't know what you're talking about. You responded to my email and now you live inside a big box. I have not emailed you. Are you saying that I'm like a person that keeps people in boxes? I don't know. Okay, see, these always get weird at the end. She told you were going to stay on your old one. So Denise, there is, and this is used to I can't speak. This used to be why I encouraged people to thank you, Angel Sirs. I've been watching too much crime drama recently. I really like the Mayor of Easttown. And guys, I don't pay for HBO Max. I get it free. I have AT&T as my cell phone provider. Also, I'm trying to manifest this Tesla, which I also don't have, but let's manifest it. So Denise, I used to strongly recommend that when people's benefit year ended that they call to file a new claim, because sometimes the reps could kind of bypass officially filing a new claim and they could remove the year ending flag and keep you on your existing claim. It sounds like maybe that's what they did in this case. So if she bypassed officially filing for a new claim, then that actually could be right. I had heard more and more that the reps weren't officially bypassing filing a new claim. But yeah, I used to only recommend that people call so that exactly what happened to you could happen to everyone. Also, because of that, if you call and you get the rep that bypasses officially filing a new claim, it seems to also make it so that you don't have to do ID.me if you haven't already. So I used to really, really like and only recommend filing a new claim with a rep online, because a lot of times when you would tell them, oh, I haven't worked at all, so I know I'm not going to qualify, they removed the benefit year ending flag and kept you on your extension with no problem. So yeah, Denise, that could be true. All right, you guys, I really got to go. If I missed your question, I'm so sorry. Thank you to everyone that donated tonight. I will be checking the pinned comments on my EDD news release video with the yellow background. Motive, I'm going to do yours. If now I only have 4 Claimyr codes left. Duckman. So I got 4 Claimyr codes left. If somebody needs them, leave your PayPal email address under the top pinned comment. That way I can delete it. shoot, where's that question? Motive. Most of the stuff with pending, especially if it's 6 weeks, is not going to resolve itself on the own. Marlon, so there's a yellow video. Let me see if I can find it. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay. Oh my, ooh, this is weird. I can see myself live. Can you see this yellow one right here? It's called EDD California Unemployment News Release Work Search. Oh no, now I've started it. So yellow background, EDD news release. There's a pinned comment by me so reply under that pinned comment with your PayPal, not in this chat because I can't delete it afterwards. So send it there, your PayPal email address as a comment under that video. All right, you guys, I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.